Right, so we have a ton of information from Minchi giving us a load of spicy info about the iPhone 13. So we have information about 120Hz, bigger batteries, better cameras, but then maybe the no port situation being cancelled for this year, and also possibly Touch ID, which would actually be kind of a bummer. So yes, a lot to delve into, and so without further ado, make sure to like and subscribe, click that buttification. I hate the word, but you guys want it, so yes, become a part of the buttification squad. And of course, with that being said, let's just tuck in. Right, so the first clarification we see from Quo is regarding the sizes, because of course, if you've been reading up on the iPhone 12 sales, you might have noticed the mini apparently is flopping, and so a lot of people have been concerned about the size continuing with the iPhone 13 series. And well, to all those small phone lovers, there's great news because yes, Minchi Kuo believes the iPhone 13 mini will happen and we will have the 4 sizes we have right now. Actually, a little quick side note, the iPhone 12 mini is actually beating the 12 Pro when it comes to global sales because the iPhone 12 mini secured the 10th spot in the top 10 best-selling phones in the world in 2020. So maybe the whole idea of the iPhone 12 mini being doomed was blowing things out of proportion. But anyways, let's go back to Minchi Kuo's story, and the next thing he delves into is the whole Portless situation that we've been hearing about for a long time. Now, Minchi Kuo actually goes against every source out there and says the iPhone 13 will continue to offer a Lightning port and that the portless iPhone will happen in the future. Now, yes, I know this goes against every other leak, but this does make a lot of sense to me because MagSafe is utterly terrible. I don't think Apple can rely on MagSafe as the sole way of charging the iPhone just yet because number one, it creates a whole load of heat that your phone could genuinely explode, but number two, it's painfully slow. That's why I returned the charger. I just couldn't bear the terrible charging speeds. And so yes, Apple really needs to work on making MagSafe and wireless charging in general a little better, and of course that will take some time, and so I think that's when Apple goes portless. And not to mention, it will confuse the heck out of buyers if the iPhone 13 was portless and of course didn't include a charger in the box. Imagine people opening their new iPhone and then realizing there's no port, and then they're just sitting there wondering how to charge this bloody thing. So yeah, they have to include MagSafe in the box, and of course, being a $35 accessory, it's probably very expensive to include in the box right now, and so they have to wait till the tech matures and gets cheaper. Anyways, let's now move on to a feature that I'm pretty sure about, and of course that is the 120Hz LTPO display. Right, so every single enthusiast has been waiting patiently for 120Hz, and of course every year Apple continues to disappoint us, but this year might be the actual year we get 120Hz because of course Apple has the suppliers, Samsung in this case, who can supply LTPO displays on of course a massive scale. And so yes, I'm pretty sure the 13 Pro and the 13 Pro Max will offer this technology. Honestly, this is very much needed in the range because right now it feels like the regular phones are too close to the Pros, and so 120Hz will give the Pros the upper hand, and I can see that being a huge feature to go Pro for the enthusiasts and of course the Apple fans upgrading. Not to mention that because the display can refresh from 1 Hz to 120 because of LTPO, the battery life should be just as good, so really it's a win-win situation for all of us. I am very, very happy Apple is finally including this feature with this year's iPhone. Right, so now we come to the dodgy part of the report because Quo mentions something I also hear every year, and that is a smaller notch. Apparently it's happening this year, though I highly doubt that. So guys, I only think of this meme, the doubt meme, when I think of the smaller notch, because I've blabbered on about this many times. But to recap, Apple has a 3-year design cycle, and of course, the iPhone 12 being the super cycle, we can be for sure the 12S or the 13 or whatever Apple calls it will largely stay the same in terms of design. And so the gigantic notch is unfortunately here to stay this year at least, and of course in the future, maybe as under-display technology improves, we can see the removal of it, but for the 13 I'm pretty sure the notch won't be getting any smaller. Anyways, enough of the notch, let's delve into something we expect every year, and that is camera upgrades, and primarily an upgrade in the ultra-wide of the iPhone 13. So the ultra-wide has largely stayed the same since its conception back with the iPhone 11, but this year it should be getting some crucial upgrades because it's going to a 6-element lens, it's going to have a wider f1.8 aperture, and also, most importantly, autofocus will be coming to the ultra-wide. That's going to be a massive improvement in itself. So yes, I'm looking forward to this new ultra-wide and the big jump in quality. I've also seen some sources say that LiDAR will be standard across the range, but Min-Chi Kuo does not believe that. He thinks the Pros should exclusively carry this feature, though honestly that's not a huge bummer because LiDAR is useless. So yeah, don't worry, peasant folks like me, I'm fine with not getting LiDAR on the iPhone 13 and 13 mini. But now comes the heartbreaking news that shattered my dreams, and that is the lack of Touch ID according to Min-Chi Kuo with the iPhone 13. So yes, Kuo unfortunately claims that there is a chance Touch ID might not make it to production versions of the iPhone 13s, though of course we are aware the feature is internally being tested, and so yes, there is a small chance that maybe Apple will change their mind. I really hope they do, because in this pandemic era we need a fingerprint scanner, and especially since a lot of Android phones have this feature, I'm pretty sure it won't be too hard to give us an in-display scanner. Timothy, I believe in you. Please give us this feature. I will actually cry. Like genuinely, I will cry because this was a feature I was looking forward to, and if the 13s don't have this, then yeah, I really have no reason to upgrade because apart from the lack of Touch ID, my iPhone 12 is completely fine. And also I want to mention that without Touch ID, what will be the big feature of the iPhone 13? Because the design will stay the same, and of course 120Hz and possibly a smaller notch won't appeal to average consumers. So Apple needs some sort of edge in the marketing, and Touch ID would be perfect for that. So yes, hopefully, while I do love Min-Chi Kuo, I do hope he's wrong about this. Anyways, enough of the bad news. Let's delve into some good news again, because Min-Chi Kuo tells us that we should see larger batteries with the iPhone 13. Now this is an upgrade I welcome with open hands, because as an iPhone 12 user I found the battery life to be a little regressive, especially with the huge leap we saw in terms of endurance with the iPhone 11 Pro. It kind of felt like they let us down with the iPhone 12, because especially with 5G, the battery life is pretty mediocre, and so yeah, I do really hope we see larger batteries with the iPhone 13. I think that will be a change that everyone appreciates. Talking about 5G, of course it got real last year, but now it's getting realer, if that makes sense, because we're getting an upgrade in the modem with the iPhone 13s to, of course, the X60 modem from Qualcomm. Now I have no idea if these X60 modems are a massive upgrade, but the X55 modems in the iPhone 12s are pretty inefficient. In fact, you lose up to 2 hours of battery life, and so I'm hoping the X60 modem could somewhat fix that. And that is pretty much everything Ming-Chi Kuo delved into in his report about the iPhone 13. It's definitely a lot of information, but tell me in the comments below, which feature are you looking forward to with this next iPhone? Anyways, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click that buttification. I can't say that, but yes, buttification squad, because you guys want me to say that. And also check out the video in the icon above for, I think, iPad Pro stuff. I think just click the icon. It'll be something up there. And on that note, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya, peeps.